Imagination. I wanna know what you dream about at night. Will be imagination.
Back and forth, we push and pull and blame it on the timing. Until when I said that I would find a silver lining. You know we can separate our fingers intertwining. It is all aligning, we will end up shining. Back and forth, we push and pull and blame it on the timing. Until when I said that I would find a silver lining. You know we can separate our fingers intertwining. It is all aligning, we will end up shining.
Oh, hello, am I working? Yes, my water bottle's in the way. That's fine. Hello. Oh god, it's loud. Is YouTube working for you?
Let me check.
And Twitch? And
I'm jumping on Twitch now.
cool. Hi.
Twitch seems to be. Yeah, YouTube works. True.
Apparently I had it set to private.
YouTube.
Yeah, my YouTube stream was set to private. I'm very dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh god. It's fine, we'll leave that. Cool. Hi, yes, hello. I'm doing programming stuff again. But I'm going to pause that while we give a quick recap of what we did last time. Let's see if this is all working.
You have an ad break happening if that matters on Twitch.
Can you cancel it?
It's gone now. I don't think I'm allowed on yours.
Hang on. Can you just type something in the chat?
Me?
Yeah. You're a VIP. Alright, hang on. /mod Game Boy Gizmo. Yes, apparently I didn't have that. Anyway, let's recap what happened last week if I can. Yeah, you got the mod view now. I can't because I got rid of the stupid thing that I hated. But we can put it back. Let's have a look. Add child node. This is a camera. Boundary area. And let's give it a collision shape 2D. Let's give that a collision shape of rectangle, sure. There it is. All right, let's make it huge. Let's bring the Z index up a bit so we can actually see it. And let's make this guy a right boundary. That's all fine. Let's have a look. So we should be able to walk into this. Ugh, it's not big enough. Hang on. And eventually it'll hit the side of the camera and then fucking break, apparently. Oh, it's this stupid crap. I gotta fix this at some point. But let's do that. Okay. It walks to the end. You can kind of see the end of it. Oh, what has happened? That's fantastic. How do I make it not? Window title must match. There we go. Okay. So you can kind of see the end of it over here. And then you walk off the edge and it sort of locks you. It kind of locks the camera into that side. Anyway, that's kind of what we did. We have all kinds of cool camera shit. Let's bring the music back. Let's delete the camera stuff. Actually, let's... yeah, I should change all these to not use global position because that's the position of that, and that's always 0, 0, and that's real dumb. But let's... Well, let's first thing off, let's make some assumptions, okay? Let's make the assumption that we are going to... Oh, God. Let's have a look, actually. Godot on ready, get child. You know, this is the fun. This is the fun bit. You know what we can do is equal to that probably won't work. that's fine. What we can do is change that to just a var. Are you gonna stop whinging? Could not find shape in current. Okay, it should be collision shape 2D. And what we can do is, when it's ready, is collision shape is equal to that. Right? That means we do only actually care about the shape. So let's do this, alright? And then what we can do is we can go print collision shape dot global. No? Oh. It's an object. What is a collision shape? That's a node. Okay. Interesting. So we can get a shape 2 representing the shape's boundary. So what we might be able to do is go, no, we leave that, and we go, I'm trying to make a simple AI hairstyle, but I'm just fixing up a bug from my last session at the moment. And hello JJ, how you going? Shape position, shape center. I'm kind of getting in my own little world already. So we should be able to go shape center is equal to collision shape dot get rect dot get center, right? Let's see what that says. Cool. So we got a print of 0, 0. That did not work. Cool. Love that for me. Let's see if the whole Godot forums can help me. Godot shape 2D get global position. Because it's relative to 0, 0. Yeah, object get rect scrub. Anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time on it because every 6 months, a guy is getting shredded by a crocodile in Queensland. That's a very regional joke. Beat you to it. We'll leave that. We'll make sure it still runs. It still does. So let's get to AIing, I guess. So my plan was to get my iPad or like a laptop with a pen out and start drawing shit. But why do that when we have MS Paint? So there is an excellent video by Games and AI, which I've ranted about before about how good it is. Fear AI, where are we? Games and AI. This one. This is a newer version of the video. It's like a big retrospective, but very sick video. Would highly recommend it. And as much as my game isn't going to be this huge, super smart thing where you have the AI jumping through corridors and like doing squad tactics and all that kind of stuff, I very much think the structure of the way the Fear AI works is super interesting. And I'm probably going to butcher it because I've looked into it, but the is my voice like a lot louder than the music, by the way? Could you have a look for me? Hello, can you have a look for me? Yeah, hello?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, hello?
Sick. There is music in the background. If you can't hear it, just let me know. Either way. So, where was I? Fear AI. There's a few different ways of doing AI, as far as I can think, okay? Now, this is coming from someone who has studied it a couple of times, but I'm not what you would call an expert, so this is not meant to be the expert streaming showing you how to do everything. This is me screwing around to try to get to a result. And hopefully that result is at least funny, if not functional. It should be one of the two funs, funny or functional. Or, I guess, fun to make. There's three of them. So, there's a couple of ways we can do AI. The simple one is just like, we have an if statement. That's just basically, I'm going to bring up Notepad. I'm going to bring up my other favorite tool. Hang on. Window capture. Where are we? Notepad. Good job. Let's put you in the center of the screen. We got Notepad. It's the best programmer's tool ever. Same executable. Hang on. Cool. No title bar, but that's fine. So basically we could just do something like if character is near, then chase, else if in walk mode, follow path, else if is in combat, do shooty, something like that. Now, if you happen to have seen me rant about Yandere Dev, which you definitely haven't, and you definitely should, this is stupid. Having an if statement or a big switch statement or something like that, yeah, do shooty. I have the best function names. I'm a professional programmer. Senior software engineer. I made it all the way to the top, and this is the shit I do. Sorry. I make myself laugh too often. So, the thing that makes this bad is it makes it really hard to maintain. It makes switching states very hard, because then, you know, if you want to go between else if was in combat and now need to walk, then transition between shooty and steppy. Something like that, right? It becomes actual logistical fucking nightmare to manage all this stuff. We don't want that. The thing we want to do is we want to have something that's actually quite manageable, extensible, and reusable. Buzzwords. I like buzzwords. So, there is a thing called a finite state machine. And I actually spent the last couple of nights in bed writing this because I'm a very good partner and I definitely pay attention to the people I love. But let's go down to the state machine and have a look. This is a very simple implementation of a state machine. Let's get that off the screen. Let's get that off the screen. And let me just put on... Yeah, I get told to code in bed. Cool. I was just putting the notepad button on my stream deck so I can go pew 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 pew. Cool. This is a very simple state machine, and what a state machine needs to do is be able to switch between states. Now I don't know if I've over-engineered this or under-engineered this. Either way, it's literally like 30 lines of code and then a couple of bits of setup code. I don't remember my dreams because I'm a functioning human being. And basically... Excuse me? I fucking heard that.
Yeah.
I am a functioning member of society and don't let anyone else tell me otherwise. I won't listen. Yeah, don't you tell lies. Anyway. Basically, a state machine does what it says on the tin. It needs to be able to switch between states. What are those states? What do those states do? What are the conditions for those states? It really doesn't matter. The important thing is the state machine is dead simple. It's basically just, the code is there. You have a state or a collection of states. So there's your states. Back to the MS Paint skills. And we have the FSM, the finite state machine, which is a really fun word.
It's really funny.
It is.
That I find it kind of busted. I find it kind of cat. The Juries and Dog are the ones that really slap.
Yeah, this is why I get no work done at home. I get distracted by everyone in my life. Huh?
I have BPD.
I missed that again.
I have BPD.
Yeah, I have BPD, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, the finite state machine. Let him cook. The finite state machine, all it does is it goes, what is my current state? Current state. Okay. Which one is it? And what it will do is, at every interval, like in this case, during every process and physics process, that state will be active and the rest won't. Those states will run their process and physics process command, which I've got a basic one there for it. This could actually be an object. No, it can't be. I'll get to that. I didn't have MS Paint up that whole time. I'm a professional streamer. Sorry, struggling with technology. Yeah, someone locked their PC. I keep telling him how to do it and he never listens. I didn't have...
Silence! Give me an abacus! What am I doing?
Change it over to the laptop, like Realtek Audio.
Yeah.
Turn the volume all the way down. Change it back. Okay, now you can change it back.
I want an abacus.
He wants an abacus. I apologize. You have an abacus somewhere? Cool. So finite state machine. All it does is it goes, what is my current state? Cool. Then it goes, am I in a position where I should transition states or switch states? That's generally controlled by the state you're currently in. Think about a character movement system, okay? You're in your walking state and you want to run. So the walk state will go, has the person just hit the run? Alternatively, you can flip that on its head and go, have the run state have a function that actually checks, should I be transitioned to? Which actually I might do that now that I think about it. That's actually quite clever. I'm just calling myself smart. It's clever because the state itself controls how it works completely. So obviously it's much easier to go, while I'm walking, if shift is pressed or run or whatever your run key is, it doesn't matter. Request me to transition out of this state. That is a valid thing to do. But having your run state go, hey, I'm listening for the run button. What is my current state? Am I in the walk state? Am I in the idle state? If I am in one of those states, I'm not in the jump state, I'm not in the damage state, I'm not in the frozen in carbonite state, I'm not in any of those, I can transition out of that state. So that's sort of like the two ways of doing it. And all it does, that's all this finite state machine does, is just it controls those transitions. You can have it go, so if you're going from jump to idle, maybe there's a landing animation, then you have a landing state, and that landing state is, for 1 second, you play your landing animation, then you transition to idle. Or, yeah, idle, I guess, is default. So that's how it works for movement. It's a relatively simple concept for movement. Like when you think about the way you move, that's kind of what you do. You're idling, then you start running, then you jump. Then if you're me, you fall over and break your arm, and then you go to the hospital. Funny, it actually happened, but yes, anyway. So let's talk about how this applies to AI, and specifically how it applies to fear. So I'm going to bring up Notepad for this one and get rid of Paint. Can you really use the listening? When is it for an AI? Well, that's what I'm getting to now. It's one of those things where if you don't understand the base concept of how these things work and you try to dive into something like AI, you'll never understand it. And this is more of a... Like I said, this is me sort of screwing around. I've never done this before. I know the base concept. I've used FSMs before. I've made AIs before. I'm trying to combine the two. So how does fear work? Fear goes, I have a patrolling state, I have alert, I have attack, melee, I can spell I promise, run away, peek, listen, and listen and act kind of thing. So it has these lists of states. And these are based on needs. What is the current player's needs? Funny enough, another very, very good implementation of needs-based AI, The Sims. With The Sims, you have your 6 things, which is like hunger, sleep, interaction. I've never played The Sims, leave me alone. Toilet, shower, work, those 6. And at any given moment, it'll be like, I have these 6 needs. Which one is the most important? And then I have a weight. So hunger, that's, that's a 0.9 out of 1 weight. Sleep, that's a 0.8. Interaction is kind of low on the priority. Toilet, say 0.2. Shower is kind of 0.1. Work is 0. No one gives a fuck about work. But the reason why that system works so well is it's like, if you're a normal person, I wouldn't know what that's like. If you're a normal person, you're like, okay, I'm hungry and I'm tired. Which one is more important? And then you'll be like, well, I'm only a little bit hungry, so I'm just going to go to bed. Or I'm only a little bit tired, I'm going to go make myself chicken strips and honey mustard sauce. That's also something that's happened in my life. It has this curve on how important it is based on how much you need it. Why am I saying all this? Context. So the way fear will work is, you'll be patrolling. And it will be like, the alert state will go, can I hear something? Can I see something? Which will then go, I'm alert. Which can then transition to investigate, or call for backup, or run in. Or it can be just straight up, confirmed I have a target, attack. And then attack can be your guns, you're a shooty shoot, you shooty shoot. Then they get close to you and melee is going, okay, my current need is to smack this person in the face with my butt of my gun, because it's close enough to do that. What does that involve? What is my need for that? Then grenades. This person is behind cover. I cannot shoot him. I cannot get in a better position or flank. I can toss a grenade. But then for this one, specifically, it can be like, to transition into this grenade thing, it's like, can I flank? Can I see them? Are my buddies near him? Sorry, throwy thing. My bad. Throwy throw. Apologies. Terrible. I am so sorry. This is where you kind of get into that needs-based stuff. Like, my current need is overall is to... I don't even speak my own language. No, I speak one language, and that's poor. I don't know what that means. Fill it in yourself. So we can work on what our needs are. Yeah, C# I'm very good at. GD script not so much. So this is kind of like flipping a normal FSM on its head, where an FSM can control, or a state can control its transitions. This is the transitioning state controls its transitions kind of thing. So, what I want to do, what my goal is for today, I'm gonna... oh cool, I did that properly. AIBS. The simple thing I want to do is I want to make an enemy move on a path. That's step 1. Step 2, make an enemy move towards the player when the player is at X distance. Whatever that is, we can tweak that. 3, when the player gets Y distance away, so think of this as like a chase, go back to patrolling. Now this all seems very simple, and I could probably write this in 15 seconds. But making it extensible, reusable, all that kind of stuff is what makes this kind of system something that you want to make. Because once again, like, simple enough, attach a character script to a character body or whatever, and go, when player is less than 3 pixels away, chase him. If he's more than 10 pixels away, go back to your path, and here's the path we have assigned to you. That's not extensible. To add in attacking, to add in, I don't know, playing around with the environment, to throwing grenades, to using your powers, to all that kind of stuff. It's not extensible. It's very, very rigid. And good code is reusable. Sometimes. So, first things first, let's fuck around with this state machine. So, I'm going to have these states saying, wants to transition. Oops. So this is the whole... Oh, bring it up again. No, it doesn't need it. This is the whole thing where the state itself, the inactive state, can say, I am close enough, or I am exit thing enough, and I want you to transition into my state. That's letting needs take over. This is probably not the right way of doing it. I will just say that. But I'm doing it. Okay? And so what we want to do is... My code is in here. Hang on. Everything I did last night is not here. One moment. I code on my laptop in bed, obviously. I don't take my 3-screen setup to bed. That would kind of be insane. So, got that. Lexi's in the background, getting comfy. Love that for her. Weak! I would love nothing more than to have like a 3-monitor setup on the roof above my bed and to die in a tragic monitor falling on my face accident. But, not realistic and probably not good for my RSI. Just saying. So I'm just booting that up just to grab some of the code I made last night, because I obviously did not sync it properly. Come on. Push. Did I just not fetch? Yeah, I'd end up on one of those unusual thing videos. Oh, you son of a whore. Sorry. Stash and reapply. Reload. Reload. We still working? We still good? Cool. I forgot to click fetch. You can use a projector. That's true. I do also have a TV in my room. But I don't think my partners would appreciate watching me code. Actually, they might. Instead of watching Doctor Who. Who knows? I don't know. Alright, so I've actually set up this state machine properly now. So it's saying can change state. change state function, request state change is a signal from the state. All this fun stuff. So one of the other things I want to go and do is at some point I want to make a matrix for state transitions. What does that mean? So if I bring up paint and I new, go away, this is back to your run state, right? We can transition to jump, we transition to walk, and we can transition to idle. Between those states, there might be intermediate states. This is the R2J, R2W, R2I. Why? The run to jump state might be some kind of thing where you play some kind of cool, like, force down and power up kind of animation because you're running instead of walking or staying still. It could be when we transition to the jump state, we actually, I don't know, add extra velocity or some shit. I don't know. I haven't really thought it through. But in terms of today, let's open up this. In terms of what we're doing, that'd be like how we transition from alert to attack. It could be very simple. It might not be a thing that you need to do. It might just be literally go, when I've transitioned, oh actually, perfect example. Squad-based AI. When you go from alert to attack, you go, he's over there. Transition. It could be that depending on what you were just doing and what you were doing now, or want to do now, there might be a different transition. I don't know if that's true. That's why I'm not adding it yet. But we'll have that there just in case. That's really all we need to do for this. The only thing I want to add is we're going to scan for state requested transition. If that happens, I want to return a state. So how will we do that? We're just going to go for state in states. And this, once again, this could be more complex. What happens if you want two states that want to transition? We're not going to worry about that right now. That's future me's problem. If state dot what have I called it? Wants to transition. That's probably not PC bro, but thank you. Return state. It's your Mr. Brightside. Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, we're just going to return null. I mean, we probably could return a string or a bool, but whatever. So what we can do is, if, so we can go var potential state change equal to scan. This is kind of stream of consciousness. I will definitely come and refactor this. This is more about getting it working. And then once the process is, my process is I get it working to some workable level that doesn't look like complete shit. And then at the end of it, you go, oh, now that I know the actual full code path and the use cases, we can go back and sort of make it a bit more better. Yeah, let's... Yeah, proof of concept. Is that going to work like that? No? Alright. The one thing I don't like about learning a new language is I can never remember the freaking syntax. That's a capital S. Is it just called name? State name. Does not equal that. Then new requested state is equal to potential state change. That's it. That's pretty not great. And for now, I'm actually going to comment it out because I've sort of gotten ahead of myself. But let's show you this. Okay, let's create a new folder called enemies. I'll probably change that, but that's fine. Basic enemy 1. And I can spell. You can't see me spelling. Sick. Let's put on display capture for now, so you can actually see what I'm doing. And I'm going to create a new scene called basic enemy 1. And we're just going to fire that up in 2D. Go back to this one so I can find some assets. What do we got? All I got is the spider. What is this guy? Sure. This guy will do. And we're just going to do... have I got this set up? It's character body 2D. I'm going to quickly look up what the best practices is for Godot. Should I use a character body 2D for an enemy? I believe you should. Just looking it up. Character body in Godot is what's called kinematic body in other game engines. It means it's usually not affected by gravity or other physics unless specifically coded to do so. Yep, that's what I want. So let's change you to... Where's change type? Character body 2D. Cool. And what is this complaining about? No shape. Okay, so once again, like the player, I'm just gonna straight up do that. But I'm gonna change the animated sprite from using this guy. Clear that. I'm going to create a new sprite frames. And I'm going to add, figure out how to do this. Let's call that just idle. Make that 10 FPS because it looks a bit chunky otherwise. Then I need to cool. I don't remember how to split that up. How did I split that up? Oh yeah, okay. Add frames from sprite sheet, assets, legacy fantasy, assets, nope. Ooh, mobs. 3 by 3. I can't actually see it, it's so small. You can't see it either. God damn it. Godot with your windows. I can just take those 3 frames. Because those 3 frames look like a walk. Those 3 look like a dying, and that looks like a dead. So, sure. Idle. It doesn't matter. The actual character, this is what I get caught up on all the time. What it actually looks like does not fucking matter. Let's put you in the middle. Let's grab the collision shape and let's drop you like that. And now, we can save that and go to our test level. We can drop in our scene, which is this guy here. No. There we go. And Christ, it's tiny. Let's Transform, scale, make it 4 by 4. Okay. You don't want to do that. Fine. Big boy! Big skelly. Ugh. Let's get rid of this fucking thing. Oh, it's behind the background. Cool. Can I change the color rect? What am I on here? I think it's a tile map. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's fine. Let's put the tile map Z ordering at like -1. That'll do. I hate Z ordering it. In the game engine I made, I just made it a literally you just set the Z, which is the same thing. I know. It's just easier to conceptualize. Cool. Simple. Right? What I want to do is I want to add a script to this guy. And I'm going to do this the stupid way. Well, the easy way, okay? Nope. None of that. All I want is an export var, which is going to be follow path. Which is going to be of type path 2D. I've looked a little bit into this. Not too much. But what this will do is it's basically just a curve on which it will follow. So what I want it to do is literally just have it follow a path. But I'm going to look up how that works. So, all we're going to do is go func, physics process, and I think you can go follow path dot curve. Yeah, that's the path sampler. So you can go progress. I gotta look up how to use them. How to use path 2D for enemy AI Godot. You know what? I actually decided that I hate it. So what I'm going to do is take a, just for now, I apologize, vector 2, X, start path X, and this is going to be a float. Once again, I'm trying to do this simple and stupid, right? And I'm going to have var be progress, which is going to be of type float. And basically what I'm going to do is say lerp if progress is more than 1, or actually less than or equal to 1, then will it be global position dot X is going to be equal to the lerp value of between start path X, start path Y, and fucking idiot path X and progress. And before that, that should be up there. So basically it's just going to go between 2 points, right? Else if, is it elif? Yeah, elif. Progress is less than or equal to 2.0 f. 2.0. We're just going to flip those values around. It's going backwards now. And 1 minus progress. Probably needs to be that. Else, I want progress to be equal to 0. Probably just go if progress is more than or equal to 2.0, then progress minus equals 2.0. That's fine. Ignore my bad coding styles. So, very simple. It should just go between 2 points, right? Let's have a look. Let's set a basic enemy 1. What are 2 points we can use? Its current X is 165. So let's say 165 and 500. And let's just see if that works. Watch it all crash. Why am I so shit? Let's take the camera. Let's zoom out a bit. Yeah, following it's a good idea, but I want to be able to actually like see it fuck around. As intended. I know what I've done. I don't think that's quite correct. It should be progress -1. So let's try that. Yeah, there we go. I have AI. I have it following a path. It's real cool. He should be affected by gravity. He should be affected by kinematic bodies. He should be affected by walls. He should be affected by floors. We do not care at this point. We're talking simply about AI. Obviously, that is not the final product. Do you want to buy my game? $40 on Steam, early access, to be released in the 3rd of Never. Very simple, okay? Now, let's detect the enemy, the player. So there's a couple of things I need to do for that. We can put it in a group. If I can remember how to do that. Nope. Node groups. Manage groups. Player. I didn't hit OK. Okay. Player. Make him be afraid of jumping. Yeah, exactly. So basically that's saying that we have a group that we can then access. And so we can use it as kind of a cheat to say we'll just get the player from this group. The alternative thing we can probably do, and it might actually not be a terrible idea, is we can create a world controller, which isn't my preferred way of doing this kind of things. Yes, exactly right, Airstyle. This is about the AI portion of it, not how bad my physics code is. This, he should be affected by physics. The player and the enemies should all be affected by the same physics for the most part. Like obviously you have a flying enemy, that's different. That's going to come into it later. I have a pretty good idea how I want to do that. But for the moment, I don't really care. This is going to be like dumb, dead simple. I just want to make the player, the enemy react to the player. That's all I care about. How goofy it looks, which is very, is not something I actually care about. That's like, once again, like that would be as simple as just going into here. And basically just doing this. Velocity. Get rid of all that and that. Why don't I have a velocity?
Sustenance.
Oh, thank you. Oh, gravity is not defined. Okay, we can grab gravity. And now, if I was to grab that test level, and actually put him in the air just a bit. He's actually affected by gravity now. He has the same movement crap as the player. He's affected by gravity. He should be affected by walls and collision. We have to obviously detect that and stop him from moving the same way we do with the player. But it works. It's not something that is actually something that's relevant to what I'm trying to do. But I appreciate the point. You are correct. It looks stupid and goofy, and I kind of like that. It's kind of like me. Stupid and goofy. Cool. So we could obviously use the velocity, we don't care. I am going to leave that because I kind of like it. I like him. Yeah, I kind of like the way you just got to straight into the floor. So let's make him detect the enemy. To do that, we've got a we're going to make a world controller. Work controller. I've had a long day of work. And what we're going to do is add that as an auto load. So if you don't know what this system is, you should definitely look into it. It basically just makes everything a singleton for that particular script, and it can be accessed from anywhere. So now I can have world controller, get rid of all this shit, and have a var player with of type player, and the player, when it's ready, go world controller dot player is equal to self. I could probably do that on init actually. Makes more sense. It's just going to work on distance for the moment. So like this is one of those very simple things. I want it to work stupid, and then I want to try to make it not stupid. And sort of show the difference. I hate that I keep pushing the tabs up there. Because obviously like... Yeah, psychic would be, just through walls and everything. Obviously that's not a game. That's just a tech demo. And you shouldn't make a game where the AI can use the game engine itself to figure out where you are. But obviously you need to have some kind of mechanism to simulate eyes and ears. Which really isn't all that realistic. You still have to pipe in inputs. So we're not going to worry too much about that. This is a very simple 2D puzzle, platform, action, Metroidvania, everything. There's not going to be massive areas where, you know, they can see through walls. It'll be like partitioned off. If you're between a wall and the player, the enemy is probably going to be on another screen and not loaded yet. Yeah, so anyway, back to what I was actually doing. Basic enemy 1. We can go make a function called check for player closeness. Bull. Oh god, I promise you I'm a professional programmer. And we're just going to return false now. And what we're going to do is go bull. Var. Close to player. Player is equal to check for player closeness. Once again, I am the master of function names. And we can go if close to player. We can go, you know, whatever. For now, pass, but we want to chase player. Else, we want to do what we did before, which is walk. Okay? Now, very important is if there's one thing I have learnt in my career, test often. Does it still work? I am definitely not a my function and my new function kind of guy. That would drive me mad. So right now, It's working as expected. Oh, that's an interesting little... Do you like that hairstyle? Do you like my physics? Ship it! Ship it! I'm gonna ship it! I got physics for the enemy!
Sick.
Hang on, looking.
Nice. Is that using the state machine stuff?
No.
No?
I'm doing it the stupid way first, and then I'm gonna do it the proper way.
Sick. Nice. Do you have a spare USB-C?
Yes.
Thank you.
You've got my cable.
That's fine. No, I can't carry him off the ledge because he's going between those 2 points. There's no, like...
Treat him like the baby penguin in Mario 64.
That's what I think JJ was implying.
Yeah.
He said treat him like the baby penguin in Mario 64. Is this, like, weirdly sun-faded?
I thought the same thing. All of them are exactly the same. I think they're changing the packaging.
Anyway.
When you're done, your streams are open on my computer. Can you just turn them off and then...
Can you pack the rust away?
Right down.
So, that's sick. I love that.
Chuck it straight in the freezer. Because we've got lunches for the next few days.
Yeah. Love my chalky milk. Sorry if you could hear me, like, moisten my lips. So let's go world controller. Yeah, this is what I love about a well put together game engine. I don't care who's made it. When stuff like that just works. Collision detection is such a huge pain in the fucking ass. And that is a good way of handling it. Like an actual fantastic way of handling it. So let's do first thing. How close does player need to be? I'm gonna make that to be 100 by default. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna work out the diff between us and the enemy. Well, in this case, we're the enemy. Us and the player. Okay? So let's go global position. Let's do it like that. Minus dot global position. Okay. Var difference equal to that. Then we go length is equal to difference dot, oh god, length. Then if return length less than or equal to how close does the player need to be. If someone put this code into production, I would stab them. I've seen worse variable names, but I don't think any variable name has made me this angry before. Moving on. All right. So we're now chasing the player. If I put this up for code review, I think I'd kill myself. Oh, that's not a Twitch word. Sorry. In Minecraft. I think I would end my nightmare hardcore realm in Minecraft. I think this one's been frozen. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. I know who you mean. I gotta tell you my story about him after I finish streaming. Yeah, let me show you. Oh, hang on. Let me just yeah, basically, because of the way the physics is set up and the collision system in Godot is actually bloody fantastic. You just kind of like fucks up on top of my head. Yeah, this is what I mean. Test so often. I can't use it to pick him up because he'd be stopped, and then the collision I don't think would work. I think if anything, I'd go on top of him. But so we can actually test to see if this little collision thing works for two different ways. We can go print. We do be close. Okay, that's way number one. Apparently we do be close. We're still close. It's interesting. Oh. That was... There's a thing that junior developers do. And I'm going to point that out before I then go and do it. No. I'm getting there, okay? The reason that was happening, so that's every time the function is run, it was printing. There's a thing that junior developers do, okay? They do var in range is equal to that. Or, they'll go if that return true. Oop. Else return false. Okay? Yeah. In this case, I actually want that just so I can do this. There are better ways I can do it. Don't ever do this. For debugging is fine. But if you're just going to return a true or false, you can just return the condition or the inverse of the condition or whatever other bullshit, right? Which is what I had before. So let's see. So let's go down here. We do be close. At the moment, we need to be that close. That's probably a little bit too close. Because it's 100 pixels that we've got there by default. He's 32 pixels. He was 16, but we bumped him up by 4. So it's like 64. So it's like an 8 pixel gap. Remember, it's from center to center, the way the positions work. You could go from left to right and all that kind of stuff. It's just easier to buffer it in. It doesn't need to be perfect. No one's ever going to get a ruler out and measure how many pixels away you are before you do something. Nobody cares. So, test level. Basic enemy 1, inspector. How close? Let's go 200. Yeah, exactly. That's once again a little bit too close. Oh god. Fucking Twitch scams. Scared the crap out of me. Thank you. Yes, pretty much exactly what you said. So it's actually tangent. I apologize, a tangent. Get used to it. You're the one enjoying your life. In building, like actual house building, you generally go center to center. Yeah, his name is literally just Twitch Scam. Sure. You go center to center in building because you can go from left to left, you can go from right to right, but center to center. Yeah. Same concept in this. And the reason why center to centers are better is because it's an absolute distance. It doesn't, you don't have to worry about how thick something is or how thin something is. It's just center to center. Why do we care? We don't. It just is how it is. You could do left to right. You could do right to left. Who fucking cares? It's close enough. I'm going to take what you said, air style. I'm going to bump it up to 300 and see what happens. I think that's a pretty good distance. You got it. I like you. So, there are two ways we can test this as working, obviously. Number one, we have our little... I can't see my mouse. God damn it. We have a little boy down here. We do be close, and you can see it's counting up rather rapidly. Yeah, exactly. Based on the size, it's pretty good. The other way you can tell is if we have a look at our code, which I can't at the moment. We can actually see that if we're close to play, we're doing nothing. So when he stops, it's actually telling us that we've entered that thing. And because we're testing often, we're doing little bits at a time. Because we're new to this and we're trying to figure it out. Doing little bits at a time can give you those hints to how to do it properly. So, first things first, let's fix up that. Second thing, let's make him chase the player. I'm literally just going to make the speed delta. He's going fast enough. Alright? So when we're chasing the player, what we're going to do is, we're going to get a direction, left or right. And when we're, I don't know, how 50 pixels away, whatever, we're going to use magic numbers. We're doing this the bad way. When we're 50 pixels, 60 pixels away, we're just going to not move forward. We'll keep up with it, but if we're going to go less than that 50 pixel, 60 pixel range, we'll just sort of not. We'll go to that 60 pixel range. So, make him do Skelicide on himself. You know what? I got you, bro. So we have a collision shape. No. He's not faster than... Actually, he's a little bit faster than me, now that I think about it. No, he isn't. It's this progress. Skelpuku, I hate you. So, let's export our speed. Let's do it. Speed. Fastness. Because we're doing it wrong. I'm going to make it 50. I don't know how much the player is. What's the player speed? 300. All right. Guess we're going to do like 250. And wait, math will catch up in a moment. Oh God. I need to make it go with his speed. Because the speed is in pixels per second. So it needs to be the distance between those two. So it'll be like var distance between... You can tell I hate these variables because I'm putting the underscores in. I don't use underscores. It's going to be equal to... No, I want to... end path x minus start path x. I want it to figure out how much it should go between those 2 points using a lerp. I mean, Lord, forgive me for what I'm about to do. Speed times delta. If if global position dot x is less than start path x, then going left is equal to false. I actually hate myself for what I'm doing. Trust me, whatever malice you feel towards me for this, I feel it tenfold. All right. So if we're going left, we want to minus, else we want to plus. Speed is declared. Fastness, damn it. I'm using snake case specifically because I know I'll replace it. Alright. So he's a little bit slower than I am now. Let me through! So now what we can do is and we're gonna have this is where, okay, this is where you should start seeing about how bad this is. I understand that, like, the code is a bit of a meme. I understand that. He is slower. He's like 16% slower. He's 250, I'm 300, so I can actually outrun him. But yes, you are 100% correct. Well, are you? Do we want a super fast AI that chases someone and you have to kill them? It's all dependent on what you're doing. But I know I'm kind of memeing and doing the code poorly on purpose. This is the part where no matter how you do this method, it turns into a nightmare from this point. And this is where the finite state machine comes into its own. Okay? Once we get away from the player, or the player gets away from the enemy, sorry, we need to inform the enemy, Christ, to go back to its patrol route. How do we do that? Because if we just left it to say, oh, we're not close enough to the player, it's gonna get stuck in this kind of loop, and it's just gonna warp straight back. Yeah, exactly. It's got to return to the start of its path. So think of it, if you it gets chased. My God, let me try that again. It chases you. Hang on. Paint. So you are here, and this is its path. And you come here, right? And it starts to chase you, and it gets all the way. Y is the enemy, so over here, right? How does it then get back to its path and then continue patrolling? That's what I'm going to code now in this kind of fuck all logic kind of way. What we need to do is we need to say, if we're close to the player, do that. Else if returning to path, do this, else do that. Well, yes. Like, going left, I can still use this awful, like, when we transition from actually being close to the player. So we could have something like bar was chasing, or is chasing. Okay. And that's false. Yeah, like, I understand that. But, like, this is where a finite state machine comes in. And I'm going to purposely do it like this, and I'm going to hate myself the entire time, and then I'm going to try to rewrite this in the finite state machine. So, just to get back onto... where's my document? Today. Well, I'll explain why your very close to being correct and but why you're not. So we're going to make an enemy move on a path. We've done that. Make an enemy move towards the player when the player is at X distance. When the player gets Y distance away, go back to patrol. That's all we want to do for now. Obviously, we'll probably do more because it hasn't taken that long. But if we were to just say this, okay, let's just do chasing the player. And I'll show you why this is going to start becoming a nightmare, okay? So we're just going to chase the player. As long as we are close to the player, we're going to move towards the player. If it's left, we're going to go left. If it's right, we're going to go right. So let's figure out, firstly, that. Right? So it's your global position versus the player's global position. It's going to be a positive when we're on the right, I think, and a negative when we're on the left. So, I mean, we don't even need to do that. We can go bar will need to go left is going to be equal to global position dot x is more than, or I guess equal to, no, it's not going to be more than, world controller dot player dot global position dot x. Very simple. If we're going left, we will literally do the exact same thing. That's it. That should work. Right? Am I going to better break away in time? Yeah. And look at that. Snaps back to its path. Like a good little skeleton. So now we're in this like transitional state with how do we go from chasing back to patrolling? And then we need to go, okay, well, we need to figure out that we were chasing the player. So I'm going to say if we're close to the player, we're going to say is chasing player is equal to true. Yeah. Well, that's what I just did. Like if I kite it away from its path. Ah. Come here. It snaps. See, this is what I mean, Airstyle. You are absolutely correct. All these solutions will work. And that's what I'm about to do now. More or less, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, am I to the left of the start or am I to the right of the end? Whichever one I am, walk in that direction until I'm back on the path, then resume idling. Or patrolling, sorry. So let me just mark this as AI shiz. Okay. So at this point we're chasing the player. So then we can go, all right, if not close to player and is chasing player. Basically this is saying we're no longer close to the player, but last frame we were chasing the player. All right. We're going to say that we are returning to the path. Which way are we going to go? Yeah, exactly. Direction, speed, direction. Whee! We're going to say returning to path is equal to true. Now there are two ways we could do this. Both terrible. I'm going to do both of them. What the fuck is this song? It sounds like Steven Seagal. Oh. I really just want to put proper music on. This gives me the bad vibes. All right. So we're going to say we're returning to the path. So we're going to say we're no longer chasing the player as well. We need a... Oh boy, you are correct. That is definitely one of the ones we're doing. We're going to check every physics process if we're returning to the path. Thank you so much for your fantastic input. All right, and then we're going to actually piggyback off going left is going to be equal to why did I cut that? Yeah. Going left will be equal to, if we're on the... Hang on. Yeah, so if our... No, that one. That one there is less than start path X. We're going to be going left. Here's the thing, right? Returning to path, we could already still be on the path. And like, I want to put the chat on the screen, and I probably should. But what you just said is true. What's the worst thing that could make you want to kill yourself as a programmer in Minecraft? This is the kind of stuff where once you start just punching at code without that underlying knowledge of other systems, like finite state machines are something that were taught to me during my software engineering course and my games programming course. But it was never applied to AI. I learned about this from the needs-based AI video I sent in the chat, which is the fear one from AI in Games. I keep harping on about it. It's a masterpiece about a masterpiece. It is so good. Watch it, you will understand this kind of stuff. That whole channel is fantastic, and same with Game Maker's Toolkit is fantastic. Oh, JJ, who's the Japanese guy that you sent me that I can never remember his freaking name? Yeah, at least with the vector. Yeah, you're correct. But I'm doing this. I'm doing this a simple way. Yeah, Sakurai, who broke my heart the other day. Absolutely broke my heart. Yeah, the guy who makes Smash Bros. I'm this close to unsubscribing for that last video he made. He stored games inside his wallet. He had a fantastic... Anyway. Let's say... we can say... Is already on path. Is going to be if... is global... Yeah, pretty much. It does look like he's never slept. Is more... than or equal to start path X. And oh, you can really tell I hate this. I use the actual AND keyword. Ugh. Global position dot X is less than or equal to start end path X. All right, and we can go. We can literally just say if I hate this. I'm sorry. It's already on path. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's... false. It's already on the path. Doesn't need to return. Cool. Else. Going left is going to be equal to that. Because we already know we're not on the path, so if we're less than X, then we're going... We're going right if we're less than X. Y is more than and path X. Yeah, I remember that. That gave me a headache. So now we've set up the intermediate state. How do we execute the state? We can go... Let's do that for one. It's going to be a bit weird. If we're returning to the path, if going left, then we're just gonna... Oh, good job. We're just gonna copy that. Yeah, I got it. I am as dumb as I look, but sometimes I get there. Okay. But now we need to go... Are we already on our path? So I'll leave it as a variable just to make it more hell for me. We can go if is already on path. Oh, whatever, fine. We can go returning to path is equal to false. Your autopilot. Let's see what happens. I genuinely don't fucking know. I'll make him chase me. So one thing I do want to do... Okay, you can actually see it. It actually moved onto the path. The path is much further right. I should put a marker where the paths are, but he did it. He's done the thing. Make him chase me further? Alright. Basic enemy. How close? Go 350. There we go. We have AI. At the most horrible, basic level, we have AI. When people think about AI, they do not think about this absolute dumpster fire of code. This is all ChatGPT is, by the way. It's just a crap ton of if statements. This is all game AI is, if you do it badly. If you do it properly, it does the exact same thing. It's just not a pain in the ass to actually do. This music's kind of catchy. So what do we do? What do we do from here? Why is this such a pain in the ass? It's these transitioning states. Now, I did meme on the code a little bit. If I was to do this properly, I probably wouldn't put those two like that. I'd probably make it a little bit different. Might have a switch statement, might have an enum with all the states, might have some functions to spread it out, sure. At what point do you realize you're polishing a turd? At what point do you just say, this is actually my own personal hell, and move on with your life and do something better? This is that point. So, what I'm going to do, basic enemy 1, I'm going to create a couple of new scripts. I'm going to say patrolling state. I'm going to say chasing state. God, Mythbusters need help. And I'm going to have a return to path state. Okay? I have my 3 states just down here. And if you remember, we actually have a base state, a class name, state. So, let's make this our class name chasing state, extends state. Let's fuck everything off. Let's actually start with patrolling state, because that's the one we're going to replicate the first. The first, patrolling state. Okay? Easy. I hope so. FSMs are actually so easy. When I made my game engine, the first thing I did, once it started rendering something and I had like scenes and stuff, was make an FSM to switch between scenes. It took about 18 seconds. And I kid you not, just a simple switch in, switch out. It's so I could go from the main menu to the game to the pause. No, I get that. I get that completely. But that's why it's one of those things that you definitely overthink it. So our patrolling states. Let's have a look at what we need to do for the state. These are all our... actually, can we do... I'll check that out in a second. These are all the functions. I hate it when I keep doing that. Where is patrolling state? Yeah, it's the most simple coding concept. So we don't need the ready function. What we do need is to copy out... This is going to be a bit of a shit show. Each state does need its own GD. Well, I don't know if you can actually nest... Can I put multiple classes in one GD file? Godot file. I don't think you can. But there's a reason why. Separating them each into one GD file is fantastic. And we're going to get to that. Okay, I promise we're going to get to that. You are very correct. That would be fantastic to do for keeping everything together. But I will get to the why it actually doesn't matter in a second. Okay? So let's create an export var that is just going to be a attached character. Okay? And it's just going to be shut up, Rusty. You stink and I hate you. No, I love him. He's on the floor, kind of there. He's whining. Make that a character body. I keep accidentally hitting my play button and starting my YouTube video and stopping my goddamn music. Okay, attach character, character body 2D. Easy. He always stinks like pee and poo and farts. We don't need those. They can't do anything. We don't care about wants to transition yet. On enter. We don't want it to do anything. Request exit. We don't need that. On exit. We don't need to do that. Process. We don't need that. What we need to do is from the not the player. Please go away. From the basic enemy 1. Let's grab all these. Yeah, that's fine. Ideally, I despise that shit. I don't want fake viewers. I really don't care if people watch. I'm enjoying just coding. It's an excuse to actually do my work. So this is kind of the intermediary part. I'm gonna have to do this a little bit fucky. And I apologize in advance. Okay? I apologize in advance. And I'll explain why after I get there. And you're gonna see why I hate it. So, let's go. This is the patrolling run here, okay? Patrolling state is literally that, except exactly, Twitch is my rubber duck. I don't have my rubber duck here, actually. I generally scream at anyone in the house when something goes wrong. Or I'll stare at the wall. I have like a... Hang on, let's see if I can find the remote. Where have I put you, you bastard? Ugh, water bottle, microphone, whatever. Rubber duck screams. I have a little like a laser projection light that I sometimes put on and point at the ceiling and stare at when I can't think. Generally, I'll walk away. I do not do my best work trying to think while I'm at the computer. Staring at this with all these red lines, which is what I usually stare at when something's not working. I can't do it. So, this currently doesn't have any of these things because it's just a node. It's an object. We need to get that from the attached character. Now, this is the bad way of the semi-bad way of doing it. So we also need a rubber duck streams. I actually quite like that. I think I might actually do that going forward. I do like rubber duck streams. That's actually really good. So, that's that. So, what do we do next? Well, what we do next is stop clicking on the wrong fucking box. We can actually, I'm going to cut all this AI shit out. And I put it in a notepad document. And I'm actually going to save it. AI shiz. Dog's dreaming in the background here. There are two things we can do that we need to do, okay? First thing we need to do, we need to make it on ready. There's going to be our FSM, okay? This is going to be equal to a node that we haven't added yet of this one. Let's add a child node that is a state machine. Lexi always dreams of world conquest. She was in the bed before with Gizmo, and I jumped in for a cuddle, and I was like, you know, let's get up. And so he starts to move, and Lexi just death stared me for like a good minute. Nah, he doesn't whine like that. He whines for attention. He gets let out every like half hour or so. He What's wrong, buddy? Come here. Come on, Rusty. Hi, Max. This is Max. He stinks. He drinks wee. And he fights a lot. Down you go. And over there's Rusty. I am actually just going to go open the back door, just in case you are correct. Give me 2 seconds. Alrighty. So we have our FSM. It's an on-ready, so we need it. It's a node. Alright? This FSM is very special. And this is why having everything as a GD script is really cool. We have a state, which is of type node. Can you see where this is going? Let me just munch on this one. That's okay. Give me enough time to munch on my Snickers. We have set up the state machine with the state we just made. Now what we need to do is actually assign the character. Oh, I always fucking forget which is a shift. No. No, not control. Alt. No. Control Alt. Oh, which friggin' keyboard shortcut is it? Shift. No. Control Shift. No. Whatever. I don't care. You're correct, Airstyle. You are 100% correct. Have you found the bit about this setup that makes it just that little bit cooler yet. A little bit cooler. 165, 500, 350. Correct. When you think about AI in games, no, you can assign the same state to multiple FSMs and they are separate. But yeah, Airstyle, you are also correct. Think about any 2D game you've ever played, because 3D AI is a little bit more complicated, but the same kind of steps. But think about a 2D game, okay? Your basic stuff is patrolling, finding a player, attacking. Yeah, probably. Like very, very basic AI, right? On a two-dimensional plane, and it's simple. Yeah, sometimes you have more specialized stuff. Maybe you have a flying enemy versus a walking enemy versus a crawling versus a rolling, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? If you have it set up in a good way, like this, you might not actually have to write the state more than once. This patrolling state should work for any enemy. Obviously, it's currently written like shit. It doesn't respect the player physics. You would have it something like telling the player to request a movement, and then the physics process and all the physics that go with it would then make sure that you can actually do that movement and all that kind of stuff. We're doing basic. It's about the journey, not so much the destination. Yes. Here's where you'd have something like, for this particular patrolling state, you'd have like or just an enemy in general. You'd have like a description bundle or a data bundle where it's like, this is my speed, this is my current patrol path, or my path 2D, or even easier, you'd have the state be able to query the character body going and have common functionality like what is your speed and stuff like that. Or there's this whole concept of inheritance versus composition. Maybe you stick a node on the player that is, this is my player data bundle node or whatever. It has its speed, it has its movement type, it has its all that kind of bullshit. Yeah, and you can do that in the 2D one as well. I just don't know how to use them. Well, that's the thing, Airstyle. Yes, you do have to set up the paths, but following a path for enemy A, enemy B, enemy C is the same code. Yeah, they have different speeds, they have different types of movement, different animations, all that kind of stuff, but the actual AI of it is go to the left, go to the right. If the player is too close, chase, lose control, come back. It's the same shit. Anyway, that was a little excited tangent I had there. So this isn't the way I would do it. This is terrible. But to build it up properly, it requires a bit of a supporting cast. So let's set the state name inside of the patrolling state. Yeah, pretty much. You'd have a navigation mesh, and you'd go, my target path is this, what's my navigation for it, and then you just move along that path. It's automatic, unfortunately, because it's really cool math behind it, and I don't get it. Zero coding experience, though. Sorry, I sort of zoned out from that question a second. Definitely check out the Godot tutorials. Definitely check out just basic programming tutorials. Because I imagine, like, if you have zero coding experience, a little bit of this stuff that I'm doing might be over your head. And this isn't exactly world-changing programming stuff. This is somewhat basic. But if you don't understand the basics, I highly recommend a Python course because it's quite close to Godot script, or any kind of, like, Udemy or anything like that. Just learn a little bit of program. You get the logic? That's perfect. The logic is the hardest part. Getting the logic is hard. Getting the syntax is easy. You already made a carrot jump around. That's fantastic. I'm actually excited for you. I like, legitimately, I'm very excited for you. I love that. Can I change that? Jump up, get down. Sorry. House of Pain is the DJ from Limp Bizkit. I'm just gonna change that. You alright, bud? You want a bag? You right? Yeah. Shrimps is bugs. Don't think I need that to be an export variable. I wonder, actually. GD override variables. Cool. Let's get rid of that. Let's go func init call super, and then go state name is equal to patrol. Oh, so it hasn't. All right. No. Oh, I was right. Hang on. Cool. Shrimps is bugs is something we say in this house when it's like cursed knowledge. Like when you get some absolute cursed knowledge, and it's just like, whatever cursed knowledge, shrimps is bugs. Giggle. Sorry, Airstyle, I completely went off the deep end there. The fact that you've put in that effort, even to follow a step-by-step guide, if you half understand what you've done, you're doing a fantastic job. And I'm, once again, not charging you up, not blowing smoke up your ass. It's very difficult to start programming, and you're doing great. Like, actually. And genuinely keep it up. Like, you don't, there's not a please follow me and keep watching. I don't particularly give a shit about my viewer count. But if you came back on my stream in a year and say, I worked on a game and I got stuff working, do you want to see? I would be all over that shit. I'd be so excited. Like, legitimately. So please, if it excites you, if you're enjoying yourself, just keep it up. Don't worry about me. I don't care if you watch me or not. I genuinely just want you to do it because it's so much fun. And coding's amazing. You can do so much cool shit with code. Runs the world. Off on a tangent. Again, I apologize. So, starting state is going to be patrolling. So let's set up the state machine, okay? Basic enemy 1, we have a state machine. So, yeah, absolutely. Which is of type state machine, which equals that. So what we're going to do is just literally go here, state machine fsm dot physics process. Oh, that's already got its own physics process. I don't actually have to fucking do anything. Now, I haven't tested the state machine yet. This is the first time I'm testing it. If it explodes, that should be funny. Shit! Yes, okay. That should be if active state does not equal null. See, you can tell that I like this code because I'm using the that. That would. I forgot to transfer the variables over. Anyway, what do we got? 165 and 500. That was 300 and that was 250. Scalisia. Now, I just want to point out why I'm so fucking excited by that working. Okay? In the actual character, this is the code. That's it. Generally speaking, okay? Generally speaking, you would have something like func move character to location. That would take a lock of type vector 2. Oh god, good typing, dickhead. Right. And that would do your movement code. Then you'd have the state call that. Woke up today, went to make my own model because I was using something else, so my own sprites, whatever they're called. I'm raring for this fucking story. You have something like this, or you'd have some kind of player movement thing to call. Oh, you could do, yeah. I like where this is going, Airstyle. I actually very much like where this is going. I feel like clickbait. I feel like BuzzFeed. I feel like I did it. I've made it. I am the BuzzFeed of the programming. Yeah. Incredible. I love that. Genuinely, I love that. I mean, I wouldn't make my own AI. I actually really love that story. That's genuinely very funny. Thank you for sticking around when you realized that I wasn't making like ChatGPT 4. But yeah, as far as like learning sprites, I actually completely... Yeah, exactly. It's an 8-minute video. That's fine. But if you can see this over here, those are my little test assets. Or you can see them in the map here. Like these little assets are something that my partner drew up. They somewhat match the aesthetic I was going for, but not exactly. I'm very bad at explaining myself. He's not an artist. It's all cool. But just having something art-wise when you're trying to program something that is somewhat unique to you, whether it's AI generated, which that's a whole kettle of fish, I will not weigh in on the debate, or something that's been drawn just crudely, fantastic. They released their trained AI model, nice. Running those models is a pain. You need a lot of grunt. And at that point, if you have enough grunt to run one of those AIs, you probably have enough to pay an artist or one of those AI websites. Maybe. I don't fucking know. I don't know your financial situation. All I know is 4090s are not cheap. Fish flavored kettle chips. That sounds gross. Anyway, let's work on... Oh, there you go. That'll do it. You got like 83080s lying around or something? Fish, yeah, Swedish are weird with their fish. Fish are Sweden's are bugs. Anyway, so let's go to our chasing state. All right, we're just going to copy the patrolling state. And what do we need? We need the fastness. We need that one. We don't need those. Now, oh no, our RX580s aren't bad. State name is going to be chasing. You have 12. Like, I know what you're going to say. This is a tactic to get you into my Discord and my community. It is not. If you have Discord, can I send you a link to my stream Discord? Because I just want to see how you have that set up. Because that stuff makes me very happy. I'm a big computer hardware geek and I love that kind of stuff. So we got that and we got that. Thank you, JJ. So let's go into our AI Shiz notepad, which is this guy. And we're just going to go, if we're chasing, and we're just literally just going to copy that. And that's just going to be character, attach character dot. Ah. That kind of makes me sad. It's what you live for. Like, without sounding like I'm being sappy or whatever, this is the kind of stuff I live for. Like, I'm not that kind of person where my job and my work is everything, but I love problem solving. I love coding. I love games. I am problem solving, coding inside of a game. Well, to make a game. It's just perfect. Watch how fast I go. That was pretty bad. Alright. We have this state. So, I'm going to try to get... No, I'm not. I'm going to just sort of baby step increment. So we have our patrolling state. You dickhead. Put it in the wrong one. What I want to do is, I've got how close does the player need to be here. So I'm going to take that check, right? The same way I had that in the other one, which is, you can't see it. Okay, I'll bring up Notepad. Which was... this one. Now, once again, I wouldn't do it like this. That's what we're getting into now. So this is what I was trying to go in the start of this, where there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can have the state that's currently active handle the transition, or you can have the other states sniff out whether they're the ones who should be active. I'm going to do it the first way first, and then I'm going to attempt to do it the second way, which is, I think, more clever because it gets like single responsibility kind of principle. I'm not all for the solid principles. I like that one. So we'll go patrolling state, and we'll go. Let's grab the player. Yes, correct. That is the part that makes it so much better. Well, it wouldn't be every single state. It's just like the transitional logic, but also handling all of the transitional logic in one state you might as well just go back to the shit version I had at the start. It's not how you want to do it, but I'm going to do it for like a comparison. Cool. So we're gonna go that if close to player. We're gonna go request state change to chasing. Look at all those statements. Else. So. Oh, fucking Christ. Thank you. Thank you. I've just basically gone, we've got the close to player function, and we're saying if we're close to the player, we're going to request the state change to chasing. This function is in the state, which emits a signal, which if you don't know how the signal slot or observer, is it the observer pattern? I think it's called the observer pattern. Yes, the observer pattern. Yeah, I'm very lucky I have you watching. Because otherwise I'd have to have my display capture on and I keep leaking my fucking personal details on the internet. I can't hear it. Anyway. Can you... Errors, please leave me alone. Okay, the chasing state is fucked. No, it isn't. Oh, little click. Ah. What was I saying? Yeah, observer pattern. So you have basically a function that shouts into the void, and it's the people who want to observe that function or that message. Apparently I am. I'm not. This is dumb. It just hasn't updated. Yeah. The observer pattern is something shout into the void saying, this thing has just happened, you tell me if you're interested, and if you're interested, you will get it. That's what this does. So it just, the state can shout into the void saying, hey, I want this state change, and the state machine will listen to it. So this, technically speaking, should work. Ooh. Chasing. It doesn't exist in the state. Ah, alright. Oh, you can't see my debugging. Okay. Let's do that. Just general's fine. General chat's fine. I haven't really set it out too well at the moment. But let's refresh and start again. So we get state, and the state is patrolling. So what's F11 is? Yeah, step over F10. Oh, you know what might help? If I add the other state to it. Yep, okay. Once again, this is why this is the first cut. You work out how you want the state machine to work, and then you put in all your other crap on top of it, so most of the stuff becomes automatic. But for now, a lot of manual shit. Like, after doing this, what I would do is I'd create a state machine. It would have an object called, like, bound parent. The code for which part? Sorry. The state machine? Let me, I wonder if I can, like, straight up... No. I was gonna try to post it in the, You're done with the photos? Thank you. I'm gonna very quickly actually check it out. Yeah, that's as absolutely disgusting as I thought it would be. I love that. I love that so much. Oh yeah, I can dump it into the Telegram. Of course. Oh, there's spoiler tags. Oh, it didn't quite work. It's close enough. Whatever. Alright, yeah, put spoiler tags in. Yeah, so let's test it. Let's just test it. He's pushing me. Oh, what's gonna happen when I hit the wall? It's gonna push me through the wall. But that transition, it was instant, right? Still, basic enemy 1. It does not know. It does not know about any of this stuff. I can literally go and delete all that. Oh, no, I need gravity. Oh, why would you do that? That is all it is. So let's work on the return to path state quickly. Okay? Let's take both of these and not do it like an absolute knob. Class. I promise I'm a good type. I'm not. I'm a terrible. Return to path state. Extend state. We have func, physics, process, delta, float, returns void. I'll fix this up in a second. That's fine. We need it init. And once again, this is something I would actually clean up the way this works. I don't like this. He's so mad he couldn't crush the spider. The spider. So we go, state name is equal to return to path. So what we want to do is inside the chasing state is, once again, this is why this is not the right way to do this, but we're doing it for the lols. We're going to go if not check for player closeness, request state change to return to path. Okay. You're doing a meme on the state machine. This, if you see GD script code like this, like actual code, it's something I've developed. So on the left here, you have the little cogs. That is code that is... I shouldn't say that I've developed. I have developed all the code here, but those cogs are code files that exist in this project, where something like this little doc is a documentation for built-in stuff. Yeah, no, I get that. But yeah, this is my state class here. It does extend a node, so it can do this stuff. It needs to be a node to do that. Ooh, that's fun. Once again, like, this is not set up properly. This is a basic state machine that will do everything. As a result, it doesn't do anything well. It does the initial state stuff okay, but I would personally, and I'll probably mess around with it a little bit. Yeah, I can do that. What I would do is I would create your basic state machine, and then I would extend it a little bit to go, this state machine is actually for character AI, this state machine is for animations or stuff like that. Having a one-size-fits-all is probably not the way to go. But it's a good learning process. This is what I mean. If you make it at the base level first, you're going to do it wrong, that's fine. But on the way there, you work out all your pain points, and then you learn how to do it right for you. You get the functionality working, and then you make it right for you and for your process. So, can I have my... Why are you being a bitch? Is it because this is all... Okay. Can I try that again? Okay, sign that. No, I want to get it working, and then I'm sort of at the end part of the stream anyway, because it is like 10 o'clock, and I'm actually feeling like energized. It's fantastic. But at some point I need to stop. So this is definitely the wrong way to do it, but let's talk about how we do that. Let's go. Once again, we're just taking the functionality that we did, the mean functionality. We called it going left. And what we want to do here, we get to learn a cool thing. Watch this. Okay, func on enter. And I'll go through it. Is it on enter? Yeah, it's on enter. So let's go to the state machine for a second and figure out why. When the state changes, we're gonna call the onEnter function. So we can do initial setup for this state that is dependent on the moment it is activated. In the case of the return to path state, we're gonna work out which direction we need to go in. That's it. And then every frame it updates, it will do the update and not have to recalculate that. We have to go, var bool first run equals true. If first run equals true, work out which way we go, then first run equals false. I hate that paradigm so much. I've done it a lot, I won't lie. But what we can do is we can go all this stuff, okay? Are we already on the path? This needs to be attached character. I mean, I'm feeling so lazy with this stuff. I hate the way it's done. I know I've done it on purpose. But I hate it. Like, and this is why it's one of those things where you work it out as you go. You get it working in a fucking jank-ass way. And then you figure it out later. Oh my god. You're still gonna whinge and moan, aren't you? Okay, can I just please give me back my kids? 165, 500. We're also going to need, from the patrolling state, the fastness. And this is the other thing that we might not have noticed before. When we're returning to our path, we then become immune to being chased again. This approach doesn't fix that, but the inverse approach, where the chasing state determines whether it gets transitioned into or not, would fix that, which is great. But it doesn't matter. Return to path state. Fastness can just be 250. Let's get rid of that. Uncomment that. And then we can do... Oh. I don't know if you're able to... Did you see that? A cool clipboard thing? Highly recommend enhanced clipboard, I want to say it's called. Hang on. Clipboard history. On Windows 10 and 11. Highly, highly recommended. It's so great. You can do shit like... Boom, and have a look at all the stuff you've copied and pasted. It's great when you are coding stuff, when you're trying to copy and paste multiple things around. Love it. So if we're already on the path, let's request a state change to patrolling. Okay? Otherwise, we're going to say going left is attached character. The global position is more than the end path of X. Then we can get rid of that. We don't need to do that logic because you just did it. We don't need that. We can uncomment that. We can shift it over. Attach character, it just goes into that to that. That. This is where we'd probably also just go func is on path, returns a bool, return that. Then we just go bonk if is on path, request state change to patrolling. Yeah, exactly. If you just hit Windows and go clipboard settings, you'll be able to find it there. It's actually just fucking incredible. It's so useful. Yeah, Win key and V. Right, this should be it. Ooh, he's chasing me. Very slowly. That's interesting. Okay, that's fun. Because he was on the path. So trying to kite him away is not quite working. Fastness is always 250. How close the player have to be is 300. So let's just change that to that. Cool. So let's actually, in the state machine, let's do print changing state to... I don't actually know how to do string concatenation in Godot. String concat in Godot. Oh, it's just a plus. Okay, cool. Plus active state dot state name. I can actually see. I don't think it'll take up more RAM. It's a clipboard. And I'm pretty sure it has a limit to how much I can copy and paste, but it's going to be like in the kilobytes. And the amount of like use you get out of it, that one time you hit Control C instead of Control V, and you remember it's there, that's going to be paying for itself. Okay, there's all this changing state to patrolling. There's obviously something wrong here. And I reckon I know what that is. It'd be new requested state is equal to that. $16 gigs is still plenty. I was on 16 gigs for years. But yeah, 32. Master race and all that kind of stuff. The variable browser on the right. Yes, so you have your defaults, which is like this. And if you have a look at patrolling state here, you'll see I got my defaults as 0, 0, 100, 250. And the ones that aren't the default have that little thing. It's so you can change stuff like speeds on a character script, have a default, but also attach that character script to many different characters that have the same kind of movement, like flying enemy, walking enemy, etc., and just tweak the things as you need. They're called export variables. That's what these little guys are. Okay, it's only patrolling now. Chasing. Return to path. Patrolling. You see it down there? I could actually punch the air right now. I have written so many finite state machines, and I've never written one for AI. This is fucking exciting. I'm actually over the moon. I'm so over the moon with this shit. I know it's simple. Yeah, I would actually do that. I'd do this and like punch a hole in my own face somehow. This seems stupid. And I know you're looking at this and thinking this is so stupidly simple. It's the platform that has been written that is the cool thing. The actual code that's being executed by the states themselves, it's meme code, right? It's the fact that the state machines, the state system, the composition system on the left here, that is awesome. And that's not just me blowing smoke at my own ass. This has this amazing decoupling effect on your code. The way it's currently set up, sure, not so much. Having to actively call another state by name is not great. But that's when we're going to go and we're going to flip it. That's what we're going to try to do now. I've been going for 2.5 hours and I just got my second win. I feel fucking fantastic. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's the kind of thing where I'm sure I showed my mum this, she'd be like, who fucking cares? You show another programmer and you tell them the concept behind it, they're like, that's actually awesome. It's one of the worst things about my job. No one understands my job. Well, that's incorrect. Very few people understand my job. Let's talk about this, okay? Can change state. Let's uncomment that. We've got the scan for state requested transition. What we're going to do is, yeah, my actual work should start again next week, which is going to be sick. I like that a lot. So we've got this wants to transition. What we're going to do is on the patrolling state, on the chasing state, we're going to have this wants to transition. That's going to do return check for player closeness. That's all it's going to do. That's okay. I'll be finishing up in a minute anyway. I think this is actually going to work. I'm going to say if not close to player for this part. No, I'm not. I'm just going to straight up delete that, move that, delete that. All I'm doing now is removing the transition code from patrolling and sticking it into the chasing section. Yeah, what do you need to test? Ooh. Oh. States is a dictionary. So is it state.key? So I'm actually in a little bowl at the moment, so I couldn't do that, but I understand what you mean. The camera transition thing, I actually got rid of that for the purpose of this. GD script iterate over dictionary. Okay, it is literally just if states state. No, don't return the string, null. Return empty, idiot. I should be able to. I'll try it though. Okay, it's in patrolling mode. Oh, it's chasing me! The only thing I'll do is... Yeah, the velocity difference is actually good. The one thing I want to quickly do is... Right, and in the state machine, when it changes the state, no, I don't want to do it like that. Active state is equal to true. So here's what I'll do. I will make the player I'll make my speed like 600, I'll make my jump velocity like minus 100. I should be able to jump pretty high with that. Whee! Oh! No, it's the wrong way. It should be minus 1,000. Whoa! Come get me, bitch. Come get me. Come get me. Come get me. What do we think? So yes, this lasts like 3 hours. It does just work. I'm very glad that at the start of this you were like, what is it to do with AI? And now you're like, it just works. Because like, I'm absolutely not having a go here. You self-admitted you don't have any coding experience, and that's fantastic that you're trying to learn. I still absolutely love that. But even you can say it just works, and you get the concept behind it, I think. That's what it is, it's the concept. It's not about how good the AI actually is. In this case, it's garbage. It's so bad. But the underlying state machine works. The underlying process works. The underlying concept just fucking works. Yeah, I don't like naming bulls. Yes, now I can actually refine it. I can make an AI state machine, which is just basically attach a character body to it, have a set of things that you can do like speed and all that kind of stuff in another compositional type object or something. It doesn't matter. Cool, it fucking works. I am so happy. The one thing I do want to quickly do before I leave is go and change this. If active state return false, just so it stops spamming and that it wants to change state like that. Whee! It works. Thank you so much for watching. I really, genuinely hope you learned something. I don't care if you're like me. I don't care if you think my AI is good. It's not. If you think it's good, you're a bad person. I just hope you learned something. Finite state machines, go look them up. Do it for your stuff. Can't thank you enough for watching and keeping me company. You're all my little rubber ducks and I love it very much. Thank you and goodbye. Join my Discord. Love you all. Thank you, Airstyle. Good night.